What's going on, guys? My name is Scott. Welcome. A lot of people know me by Wanger Time or Pokey Scoot, Poke Scoot, or Veefriends Mania. So today we're going to give you a full introductory to what is Veefriends. Veefriends was created by the man, the not myth, but the legend, Gary Vaynerchuk, also known as Gary V. Gary jumped on and got into the NFT market by releasing the non-fungible tokens Veefriends. Now, according to my sources, Veefriends was launched in May of 2021 and is built on the Ethereum blockchain. Gary's big concept to this was to not just have digital art, but to have digital assets by giving basically different access and perks for these NFTs. So for example, you buy a Series 1 NFT, and when they do a merch drop for that specific character, you have a chance to get in on it first. You know, you can get the merch first or whatever it is, the event. Gary himself actually hand drew Series 1 of the Veefriend characters. And his big goal is to bring traits to the world that, let's be honest, in today's world kind of get overlooked, like empathy, elephant, patient panda, gratitude gorilla, jolly jacko, compassionate catfish, brave bison, fearless fairy, and so many more. And Gary originally hand drew each one himself. Take a look. So from Series 1 NFT drops turned into tons and tons of things, from merch with all kinds of brands to in-person events, digital events. It has been crazy. The amount of collabs that Gary has done with Veefriends. And we cannot forget about VCon. Gary created this multi-day conference that brings all kinds of leaders, all kinds of business owners, entrepreneurs, collectors, all in so many different areas all together. And I personally have not attended, but I know a lot of people that have, and they loved it. They said it was an amazing time. After the NFTs, Series 1 NFTs, they dropped Series 1 trading cards. Now, these cards are not for gameplay. They are just as a collectible item. They dropped 1,000, that's right, 1,000 wooden boxes, as you guys can see. And inside each box was a mini box. And inside that mini box was 10 cards. Sometimes you got a 11 card box, which was just icing on the cake. So there was 1,000 of these big wooden, let's just call them booster boxes. These wooden boxes, there was a 1,000 of them made, and they were auctioned off. So the community set the price. I believe the price was like $2,150 average or something around there. And then of course, once they were all sold out, prices shot up crazy, over $10,000 per box. I think the highest one sold that I've seen that people have told me was like $25,000, somewhere in there. And that was, you know, secondhand, that was off the market. Prices recently have dropped down to about, so they kind of dropped down to $4,700, and then they rebounded, and they've been holding basically $5,000 to $6,500 per box. According to our sources, Veefriend Series 2 was announced and dropped April 2022. I love that. 22022. So you add it together, you got 4 2s, 2222. I love that. I don't know if that was on purpose. 2022, Series 2. I don't know, but that was pretty awesome. So they updated the art style for Series 2 and introduced some new characters. This allowed investors to join in the Veefriend ecosystem at a lower entry cost. The second series also aimed to expand the universe of the characters and continue the project's growth. For me personally, I actually didn't know or hear about Veefriends until October 2023. So that's when I got into the community. And since then, well, it was game over. I was big into Pokemon and had massive, I mean, thousands and thousands, over 500 graded Pokemon cards. Since then, I have found more joy within the Veefriend collecting because for me, I love collecting, but a big thing for me is I love numbered cards. I find them amazing. And with Series 2, so Series 1, I believe there was 22 of each character for Series 1 cards. So that means if you have a Series 1 core, now that's for the core. So if you had a Series 1 core card, it was 1 out of 22. They weren't numbered, but everybody knows, out of 22, there's only 22 of that character, according to my sources. And then you have different rarities. You got the core, you have the rare, you have the very rare, you have epics, and then from there, you go up to one of ones and other different ones for Series 1. And then for Series 2, you have inserts, you have core cards, you have, core, rare, very rare, epic, one of ones, insert cards, which I believe are 1 of 5, and just there's a ton. And, I love the art. So as Series 1 NFTs, they also then did Series 2 NFTs. And right now, it's kind of a gray area with the NFTs, with the regulations and stuff. It needs to be regulated better. So Gary's kind of waiting on actual set rules on what he can do for his NFT holders and what he can't do. A lot of people kind of get in that controversial age right now where it's like, I got this NFT and I was disappointed if it was the gift code or access token, whatever. People have kind of got disappointed, but they have to understand right now, as of this video, 2024, there needs to be actual set rules of what Gary could actually do. So for a lot of NFT products, projects, they're kind of in that range of like, okay, we can do this, but we can't cross this line. We don't know what that line actually is. So until there's actually a line drawn and by a department, high up, it's kind of a gray area right now. So as you guys have been seeing different photos, different videos, different images that I've been up here with my audio going over, you can see all the different collabs, the different cards that you can collect. And this is just getting started. Gary has said it many, many times. You can actually play the trading card game with Series 2 cards. They have tournaments, which I've personally been to one, and it's a blast. It was in New York. It was a blast. But Gary has so much more that he's planning on doing. And like he always says, this is not, in 5 years, we're going to be as big as Pokemon. This is something that Gary has said over and over. He wants to work on the rest of his life, and I believe him. Now, we must get to the negative side because I've been a part of the community since 2023. And it's been a wild ride, to say the least. Now, I hear something when I try and talk to my non-Veefriend friends about Veefriends. This is what I get. You mean Gary the scammer? Gary the fraud? No way am I giving any money to that man. Not from what I've heard. This is something that's kind of big in the collecting community and digital community. Now, here's the thing about that. When you get down to the root of it, and all this rumor and all this stuff, this is my personal philosophy. Never invest in something that you're willing to lose it all. And this is why 90%, some argue 98%, lose money in the stock market because they invest money. They're thinking they're going to make a quick, big buck. They're going to make a lot of money right away and retire rich. But how you make money is long-term investing. is patience, not letting your emotions rule. Every single drop selling out, and then every single time it climbs, you buy at the max. And this is a big problem for a lot of people. Gary himself had said 99% of NFT projects are going to zero. He said this long ago. Now, what people need to understand is, yes, never invest what you're willing to lose. You had a lot of people jump in Gary V's Veefriend project and other projects. So there's been some projects Gary has supported that went under. But Veefriends is Gary's, I would say Gary's baby. Because he's building something from scratch. He didn't buy out a brand, he's building it. So when Gary V dropped Veefriends Series 1 NFTs, people went crazy. They spent a lot of money, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, $100,000, and way more than that. Way more than that. Like all things, the hype was there, the FOMO was there, people jump in. Some people made a killing. Some people made a lot of money. While majority lost a lot of money because after the FOMO, after the hype, it came back down to reality. Like almost all projects. For example, you go out and you buy a brand new PSA 10 Charizard card from a set that is just brand new. When that card drops and crashes and hits reality, you're going to lose a lot of money. Now, over the long run, as long as the company doesn't go bankrupt or go to zero, over the long run, it slowly climbs over 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years. If it's still around there, it climbs back up and either, hits a set price. So you either lose money, break even, or make money. That is life on all things. And a problem is a lot of people get in FOMO. Let's talk stocks. A lot of people, let's say you dumped a lot of money in the highs of GoPro. Well, GoPro's trading super low now. A lot of people lost their bank with GoPro stock or marijuana stock. And then some people got in early on NVIDIA or AMD or Amazon or Netflix or Disney. And now, of course, over the short term, they didn't do that good. Amazon stock traded $1, $2, $5 for a long time. But over the long run, if something still is there, the value is there. And so many people in this world go into things for the short term, quick fix, quick buck. And it works out for some people, but most people it doesn't. So you have a lot of people, when I talk to these people, okay, why? Well, they say, well, I lost all this money, or my friend lost all of their money in that scam Gary V. And then I say to myself, and I say to them, but you understand, that is everything in life. You can't expect to buy in when it's FOMO, when things are at all-time highs. Yes, sometimes they keep going to all-time highs, but oftentimes when you're buying in that FOMO period, they crash to reality. That's life. And sometimes things go to zero. That's life. In all areas, in all projects, if it's NFTs, if it's trading cards, like MetaZoo. And all the thousands of trading card brands that have come and go over the years. You can't blame one person. Gary is a master at sales and at hyping. He is awesome at it. And I often say this, Gary could sell a $1 pen for $100. Gary is a master at it. And you have to understand this. It's like going and buying a brand new car in a dealership. That worker gets commission off of him selling you something. That's his job. That's who he is. That's who they are. But you have to understand, as soon as you drive your brand new car off the lot, it loses $10,000. And there's a saying that every day that you drive a brand new car, as soon as you drive it off the lot, it loses $500 per day from the time you bought it. Sure, over the FOMO car thing, when cars were booming and everything, you could buy a car off the lot and sell it for $5,000 in a week or two. Housing market, you could buy a house at the top and sell it for 20, 30,000 when people were waiving, they were waiving inspections and all that stuff over the FOMO period. But the people that bought at the top now are now stuck. The people that bought at the top to flip are now either breaking even or losing money because the FOMO period kind of ended. And that's for all things in life. So I circle back to this. To those who don't get into Veefriends or get into something because of a scam, I ask you to ask yourself this. Don't ever invest any money in everything and expecting you're going to retire from it. Everything in life has the opportunity and chance to go to zero. You invest in GM stock. Well, yeah, they're sound. But it is not guaranteed that they're going to be a $50 stock one forever. They could be $100. They could be $5. Now, they're established. So yeah, what do we know about Gary? Sure, some projects failed. But Gary, we know, has built many businesses successfully and runs them successfully. I believe Gary when he says Veefriends is something that he wants to do the long term for the rest of his life. Gary said it himself. 99% of NFT projects are going to zero. Did people listen to him? Of course not. People got in on the FOMO of projects. And when most went to zero, those same people then cried, scam, scam, fraud, 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 scam, sue, 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 let's sue them all. When in fact, Gary himself has said most projects go to 99% of projects go to zero. Is he saying that about Veefriends? Of course not. It's his baby. Of course not. Could it go to zero someday? Absolutely. Absolutely. Will it? Well, who knows? But I choose, as a collector and investor, I choose to believe that Gary can see this through. But if it goes to zero, I'm not going to cry scam, fraud, fraud, scam, scam. Because I understand this is life. Things go up, things go down, things go to zero, things go to 1,000. Things go up and down within a range. You have to have the smarts and the maturity to understand. Don't invest what you're not willing to lose. And don't let fear run your life. If you live in fear and you don't get in something because of it, well, just ask the people that bought in Bitcoin at $10 or $100. They got scared. It hit $500 and they sold out. Or the people that bought in at $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 and it crashed and they sold out for a loss because they got scared. Don't invest what you're not willing to lose, and don't freak out and let your emotions control your investing. Invest what you're willing to lose and ride it. See where life takes you. Give it a chance. Take your emotions out. So to the people that say Gary Vee is a scammer, the entire world's a scammer if you use that philosophy. Because nothing in life is guaranteed. Just because Gary is a master at selling and a master hyper, he hypes things up, he's a master at it, does not mean he's a scammer, he's a fraudster. He's good at what he does. But you have to look at the data, look at the community behind everything, and actually listen to Gary. A problem is a lot of people listen to Gary over the NFT market. They got into things that he was supporting or he pushed or promoted, and some of those things went to zero and people lost money and they cried about it, and they're still crying today. But if you actually followed Gary over those times, he was saying 99% of NFT projects are going to zero. The problem is the FOMO people just said, oh, he's just talking about 99%. He's going to be the 1%. So this project he supports, this one, everything that Gary supports or pushes, that's safe. That's not going to go to zero. That's what people were thinking. Gary never said that. He says specifically 99% of NFT projects are going to zero. So he backed a lot of stuff. He wasn't creator or he was co-creator. He backed a lot of projects and they failed. But he also said 99 are going to zero. So people need to do their due diligence. They need to invest what they're willing to lose. You don't invest your house. You don't invest your livelihood. You invest what you're willing to lose. So if it goes to zero, you lost it. Oh, that sucks, but okay. Or if it goes, you invest, let's say you put $1,000 in and your $1,000 turns into $100,000. Let's go. Amazing. Great. You took that risk and it paid off. That's life. The problem is people get so upset when they lose. If people got in a project that didn't lose, if people got in a project that shot to the moon, would they be calling Gary a scammer or a fraudster? No. People cry when they lose and celebrate when they win. And my personal philosophy is, you invest what you're willing to lose and then ride it out to the beginning to the end. If the end is at zero and it completely goes away and that project's dead, okay. If that project just kind of bounces around for so many years and just doesn't do anything and just never amounts to anything, okay. If that project shoots up and you decide to sell out for a profit before it drops, great. If you invest, that $1,000 into a project and it bounces up, just kind of goes anywhere and then shoots to the moon someday, amazing. That's what you need to go into things. I'm heavily in Veefriends trading cards, not really NFTs or that stuff. I don't have any Series 1 NFTs. I have one Series 2 NFT. I would love to get a Series 1 NFT, but the one I want is kind of highly collected. It's a lot of money, and I'm just a personal, I like to physically hold things. That's just me personally. But I am very heavily in the trading cards and merch. If stuff goes to zero, it's going to hurt. But I'm not going to be like, that Gary scammer, he tricked me. No. Because I'm mature enough and smart enough to know nothing in life is guaranteed. Nothing. Except death. But that's another story. So my friends, if you're considering, ignore the negativity. People lost money. They're crying. Everybody cries every day. Especially when it comes to the stock market. I like Gary. I see his passion behind Veefriends. I look back, I've been following Gary since I think 2016 off and on. And I've only followed him basically for his motivational videos. I had no interest in wine, so I didn't watch the wine videos. Now I actually do because I find them interesting. Because I find Gary interesting. But back in the day, I liked his motivation videos. I liked them. Did I apply them? In 2016 I did. And his videos helped me grow on YouTube. But then I kind of faded away because life. And I would say 2019, I got back into listening to Gary. and actually really listening to Gary. And since 2019 to 2023, I was listening to Gary almost, at least, I would probably watch 1 to 3 videos per week. In 2023, and I heard him talk about NFTs and this kind of stuff and Veefriends. I thought Veefriends was just one of these things that, he was just something he was just, I didn't pay much attention to it. I just didn't. I had life going on. But in 2023, of October 2023, I actually fully listened to his videos on Veefriends. And I thought it was amazing. The idea, Jolly Jacko, compassionate catfish, pushing these things. Fearless fairy, being fearless. I like the idea. I then saw the characters. I thought, oh, they're cute. And I got to, know the characters by watching videos and just learning about them. And I got into it. I invested. And it's been amazing since. And now I watch his videos almost every night. I have Veefriends bookmarked everywhere. I love Gary's philosophy. For me personally, I'm not wild over, some things. But Gary as a whole, I understand Gary. And if you're going to invest in something, you need to understand it and the founder, the creator. I know Gary is a master salesman. He's a master at it. He should get plaques all over the wall from all kinds of organizations saying Gary is a master at sales. He's a master at hyping things up. He's brilliant. And I am proud of that he's that. It's hard to be a master salesman. You could be a good salesman. You could be a good hyper-upper. But to be a master, that takes a whole nother level. And I love that. And I understand that about him. And I actually listen to his videos, not just one soundbite or clicks. And I listen. So I do believe that he's taken Veefriends as high as he possibly can. Will he ever be like Pokemon? Will he ever be 50% of Pokemon? Will he ever be 25% of Pokemon, 25% of Disney? If he's even 15%, 20%, that's a massive achievement in itself. I think he's going to at least be 25% in the long run. At least. At least. And I think the question comes down. Will Gary push this during the good times and the hard times? Gary is not, Gary is not this kind of person fed with a silver spoon all his entire life. He has a Veefriend called, "It's tough to beat a worm from the dirt." He's a worm from the dirt. So I think he understands that with Veefriends, there's going to be highs and there's going to be deep lows. Like all things in life. But consistency spread out over time is how you win at anything. He's already won at so much in life because of the consistency that he's spread out over time. So I think he knows that. And Veefriends, I do think, is one of his pride and joys. If it goes 5, 10, 15 years and just gains no traction, will he end it? Probably, to some degree. Will he give up on it? Who's to say? Do I think he would? I don't think so. I see what he does in the dark. The pushing, the following, the watching. He's in streams when people doesn't know he's in streams. He listens to what people are saying about Veefriends in the dark, in the community. He's not stupid. He's a deep data guy. And that's something a lot of people don't realize about Gary. He's in the trenches. He's behind the curtains. He's in the shadows. He's in the dirt. He's a bat in the night. He uses his sonar to read the data. He's a brilliant entrepreneur. And that's why I believe in Veefriends. I believe in the traits of the Veefriend characters. I believe in Gary's vision for Veefriends. But I also believe in the team that he's built around Veefriends. They range in all ages. And this is just a few. Liam, Adam, Connor, Courtney, Andy. That is just a fraction of the people a part of the Veefriends team. The entire Veefriend team sees Gary's vision and they hustle. And they're working hard. That is Veefriends. That's what Veefriends means to me. It's the traits, it's the character, it's the team, and it's the man behind the curtains. I wish Veefriends the best of luck. I'm going to ride it. I'm going to ride Veefriends to the grave or to the skies. The question becomes, will you? Life is about taking chances. It's about taking risks. It's about being smart enough to know your limits and what your risk tolerance is. But I ask you, look at the community behind Veefriends. Look at the team behind Veefriends. Look at the characters behind Veefriends. Look at the man behind Veefriends. And not just the man that the world says. Don't even listen to me. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Do your homework for yourself. And I tell you, listen and watch fully at least 50 videos from Gary V, especially related to Veefriends. Search on YouTube, Gary V, Veefriends, and then watch every single video that there is about Veefriends from Gary. Not from other people, but from Gary himself. Watch, listen, look into his eyes as he's talking, and decide for yourself. On our channel, you're going to see all kinds of stuff related to Veefriends, some Pokemon, some other stuff here and there. Because I love it. I'm a collector. But I'm also a believer. And I'm not just a believer because I want to make some money. I'm not buying a one-of-one card or a rare or very rare card thinking, ooh, I'm going to double my money one day. No, I'm a collector. It's my passion. I enjoy it. But I also like the man behind the project. I like the team behind the project. I like the characters behind the project. When you go into something, don't go in for the money. Don't go in for the opportunity or chance. Go in for the creator, for the actual product, and for the team behind it, and enjoy it. And always be smart enough to know, if it goes to zero, oh well. If it goes to the moon, let's go. Be in something for the ride, and use that philosophy for your life. When you're picking a partner to marry, someone to marry, do you just say, I love her body, that's it? No. You gotta love her body, be attracted to her, but but also her personality you have to like. Don't just go in one thing, and this is the problem with the world. The FOMO. Oh, I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm going to buy this project. It's cool. I'm going to make a lot of money. In all things, anytime you go into something over FOMO or hype without actually liking multiple parts of it, you set yourself up for failure. Don't buy GM stock because, oh, well, I just like my GM truck and that's it. That's all I know, so I'm buying the stock. Look at their history, look at their balance sheet, look at their products, look at the whole thing as a picture, and then invest based off of it. Not based off of just pure emotion of, oh, I love this. I don't buy Veefriends because I just simply love it and that's it. That's one reason. You need multiple reasons in life. If you're overweight and you want to lose weight and your only motivation to lose weight is, well, because people think you're fat, it's not going to be sustained. You might lose weight, but it's eventually going to come back. You need multiple reasons why you want to lose weight. You want to do it for your health. You want to do it so other people see that if you can do it, they can too. You want to do it for your looks. You want to do it for the people around you. You want to do it for your kids so you're not out of breath while you're playing football or going for a walk with them. You need multiple reasons on why you do big things in life and even little things. And then that will sustain you. This has been some words from me. Thank you guys for watching this video and following. This is Veefriends. This is more than a collecting. This is more than a community. Let's make it a movement. And let's use smarts when it comes to investing, collecting. See you guys on the next video. And this is why I say CGC is easy to crack. Now before this gets in there, take that out. Once you get enough, just like that. Now PSA, their new slabs are way harder to crack. Come on. What did they do? Did they glue that in there? Interesting. CGC, what are you doing to the cards inside? There we go. There we go. Of course, it was only an 8.5 anyway, so it's not like it was high grade. But yeah, PSA makes it really hard to actually grade. While not grade, crack. Their new slabs are harder to crack.